If that's true, I'd like you to write down on this game plan interview journal today's date at the left-hand corner. You see where it says today or date? Write down today's date, and it's very important that you commit this to writing. So we can talk, but you know what? The minute you begin to commit stuff to writing, it becomes scary, doesn't it? Because you got to be accountable. Just yesterday I did a marriage, a wedding. I'm an ordained minister. And you know what? As soon as everything was over and the photographer was done, I pulled out the wedding license and I got them to sign it. Hey, it's got to be signed. You've got to commit it to paper. We could talk. We could go through a ceremony. We could do a ritual. But you know what? Bottom line, please sign this. Oh, by the way, we need some witnesses. Oh, by the way, put the date and the time and the location, because then it becomes concrete. Here's what I'm asking you. Will you allow Greg Dwyer, that's me, to coach you? In other words, will you allow me to tell you the truth? Will you allow me to tell you what is going to help you and your team to build this business? In other words, I don't want to sugarcoat this for you. I don't want to tell you things that are not going to create results. I want to tell you the truth. I want to tell you what's created a business for me, what's created the downline for me, and also what's created direct sales for me to give me the success that I have. And I want to be able to tell you the truth and shoot straight from the heart. So number one, if you're willing to have me coach you, and I hope that you are, right, number one, yes, I desire Greg Dwyer to coach me. Now, why am I asking you to put it in writing? Because there's going to be days when you're just going to wonder, why in the world did I even get involved with this coaching course? Why did I buy this business builder? Now I'm married to Greg for 12 months or 2 years. I don't really like what Greg told me the other day. I'm thinking of quitting. Guys, you're going to go through that thinking pattern. A coach is going to stretch you. You know, when I was in Little League, I didn't like what my coach told me, but my coach saw things that I didn't see. When I hit the ball and I was running the first base, he would yell, "Greg, run the second," because he saw the bigger picture. I didn't have to look around to see what was going on the field and where the ball was going and how it was being played out. I just simply trusted my coach because he could see from afar. So I'm asking you, will you allow me to coach you? Write that down. Number two. Will you stay committed to your company? Now, we have people in this call from many different places in the country and many different companies. And as this course moves forward through the months and the years, you are going to be interacting with other distributors from other companies. We are not asking you to jump around. We're asking you to stay planted where you are. Number one, your upline is going to be happy about that. And number two, no cross-recruiting. This is not a forum to find other leaders to bring into your downline. You're going to meet people at live seminars. As we do live seminars, you're going to meet people on the phone. We ask that you do not use this forum, these courses, these calls, as a place to get chummy with other people, to steal other people's downline, okay? So that's really important. Stay where you're planted. Stay with your upline. Listen to them. Work your business. Don't think that the grass is greener somewhere else. It isn't. Stay in love with your product, your company, your upline, and stay planted. So number two, will you stay committed to your company? Please write down, yes, I will stay committed to my company, okay? We want to create a safe environment so that leaders will send hundreds of people to us every single month, knowing that they're going to hear the fundamentals and the basics, and they don't have to babysit people, and they know that people are going to hear the truth and build their business, okay? So that's why we ask you to stay committed to your company and no recruiting. And by the way, don't invite people onto these calls. These calls are only for you. They're not even for your spouse if your spouse have not committed to the day planner and also to the course. Number three, will you stay committed to this course? So if you're in this course for 12 months or 24 months, we're asking you to stay committed to this course, because this course is not going to happen within 5 weeks. This week we're talking about mastery of desire. You're not going to master your desire in 1 week. You're going to get an email from us. You're going to come to a call next week, and we're going to talk about discipline. But you're not going to master discipline in 1 week. It might take you 3 months. It might take you six months. It might take you a year. It might even take you 2 years. Would it be worth it? I think so. Some of the things, let me backtrack. All of the things that we talk about in this course, you can use in anything that you do. If you leave network marketing or get out of business, and I don't know why you would, everything that we talk about, skills and relationships and how to influence yourself and other people, you can use in all parts of your life. but we're asking you to give yourself time and stay committed to this relationship for at least 12 months or 2 years, okay? So number one, will you allow Greg Dwyer to coach you? Yes. Will you stay committed to your company? Yes. Will you stay committed to this course? Yes. All right. Right underneath this that you just wrote down your 3 commitments of yes, yes, and yes, I'd like you to write 10 top desires. 10 top desires. In 1995, I was sitting in the Ed Sullivan Theater, and David Letterman called me out of the audience and interrupted the top 10, and I was in front of 6 million people. And I'll tell you something. I had a dream of meeting Dave Letterman one day, and I made it happen. Don't ask me how I made it happen, but I had an intention, I had a dream, and it became a reality. Now, I'm not telling you that everything I think about and everything I dream about I make happen, but I had a focus one day about 10, 12 years ago of meeting Dave Letterman, and I made it happen. Dave does a top 10 list, and most of you probably have seen it or heard about it. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask you to do a 10 top list about your desire right now. We're going to take time on this call, listening to this CD, and I'd like you to write 10 top desires right in that journaling section of the Game Plan Interview Journal, and then write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, as I'm talking right now, and I understand that you're not driving a car, I'd like you to start writing whatever comes to your mind. Now, I'm not going to open the call and ask you what's on your mind or what's on this piece of paper, but right now I'm going to ask you to begin to write. What would you like to be, do, and have if you could never fail? Why are you in direct sales or network marketing? Now, don't just listen to me. Last week I was in California and I was giving a lecture and a seminar, and as I was talking about creating desire on paper, one person said, "I'm listening." I said, "No, don't just listen. Get into action. Get into action. Begin to write on paper what you want out of your life. Why are you in direct sales network marketing?" So don't just listen to my voice right now. Stop, grab a piece of paper or this Game Plan Interview Journal, grab that pen and start writing right now. Why are you in this business? Why are you in your network marketing company? Why are you in the product? Why are you playing this game called direct sales or network marketing? Now, as you're listening to my voice, you should be writing some things down. What are some things that you want to be? What are some of the things that you want to do? What are some of the things that you want to have? Is it a red Corvette? Is it travel? Is it firing your boss? Is it making a lot of money? Is it making, differences in people's lives? About 3 years ago, we were doing this call in London, and a lady said, "I want to open up an orphanage. I want to help people. I want to make a difference. I want to open up a charity. I want to fire my boss." So whatever you feel, I'd like you to write down right now. Now, you should be at least through number 5, and hopefully you're not thinking about this for the very first time. This is your why, folks. This is your desire. This is your home. Why are you playing this game? And what I've discovered over the years is if a person doesn't know, if they can't articulate it, if they cannot communicate it, if they can't get clarity, they're not going to stay in the game long enough to master the fundamentals. They're not going to stay in the game to make it to first base and second base and third base. They're not going to make it home. So this is very important. Your business is knowing why you want to win. So you got to be clear. You got to be focused. So why are you playing this game? 10 top desires. What are they? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? Okay, we're going to ask you to stop. The homework for this week is to look over those 10 things that you just wrote down. And some of you are probably still writing. You can probably just finish up. Look at those 10 top things that you want to be or do or have, and ask yourself, is there a common theme throughout all of it? Is there something that relates it all together? For everybody, it's going to be different. We don't have the time to open the call tonight, and this is very personal. But what I'd like you to do for homework for this week is to complete this game plan interview to the best of your ability. Now, it's not about perfection. It's about growing and learning. So don't worry about perfection, all right? But I'd like you to take a look at your 10 top dreams or your desires or your why and ask yourself, what's behind all this stuff? Like, in other words, if you want to drive a fast car, or you want to make a lot of money, or you want to help a lot of people, or you want to fire your boss, ask yourself, what are the values behind this? Or a better question is, what's the purpose behind all of this stuff? See, somebody says to me they want to make a lot of money. I say, great. Well, what's a lot of money, and why do you want to make a lot of money? Or somebody says they want to drive a fancy car, they want to travel the world, they want to go on cruises, they want to make a difference. Why? What's the why behind these things? What's the why behind your desire? The clarity around this question will allow you to be unstoppable in this game. What we're talking about, folks, is we're talking about purpose. So as you take a look at these 10 top desires, ask yourself in a sentence or two, what's behind all of this stuff? Now, this is deep. This is like peeling back the onion to get beyond the surface stuff of cars and planes and travels and money and firing a boss and free time and all that kind of stuff, and ask yourself, what are you really doing this for? And it's going to take yourself to do some deep searching, okay? So to help you with this searching, draw a triangle somewhere on that game plan interview journal, a pyramid. In network marketing, we hear about pyramids all the time, but it's okay to talk about a pyramid. So let's talk about a pyramid, a triangle. Draw a triangle on that piece of paper. Take 2 lines, 2 horizontal lines, and draw right through the triangle so that you're dividing the triangle into 3 sections. 3 sections. You have the base of the triangle, you have the middle of the triangle, and you have the very tip of the triangle. 3 sections of the pyramid, or 3 sections of the triangle. This exercise is going to help you have clarity around your 10 top desires and your purpose. The first section we're going to talk about is activity. And if you would, put the letter A at the base in the triangle, the bottom part of the triangle. Activity, or the letter A. Now, activity is important. The name of my company is Active Network Marketing, and we believe that you can talk until the cows come home, but you got to be active. You got to prospect, you got to talk to people, you got to follow up with people. But here's what I've discovered. Telling people what to do as far as activity doesn't work if they don't change their mind. If they don't know their purpose and they don't change their mind, yeah, they're going to do the activity short term, but they're not going to make it a habit long enough to change their mind and their activity to produce lasting results. So here's what I discovered. When we started this course, it was only a 4-week course. And what we primarily did is we taught people how to use the Business Builder. And I came to the conclusion after a couple of months of doing this that I could probably teach you how to use this Business Builder in an hour and a half on a Saturday afternoon over a conference call. I could tell you how to use the prospecting tab. I could tell you how to use the preview tab and the indexer. But here's the sad thing. You probably won't do it long term. You probably won't get into a different mindset of creating activity in a process to create results long term. Now, activity is important. Going to the baseball game, going to the grocery store, going to the post office, getting involved with prospecting, going to convention, going to meetings, all of that is very important. But activity left by itself is not enough. So that brings me to the second part of the triangle or the pyramid, which is the middle section, which is goals. Goals, put a letter G there. Now, goals are important. We're going to talk about writing out your goals in your day planner for this week for the exercise. You have to have a goal, a specific target that you're looking for to create or to change or to make happen in your life. Whether it's losing 5 pounds or gaining 5 pounds or building your business to a certain financial level, you have to have a goal. Now, most people, they resist this because they're afraid of looking foolish. They don't want to write something down because what if they don't make it happen? Well, I believe, and this is just my personal opinion, this just goes back to the programming that we received in kindergarten, grammar school, and high school, that we don't want to be wrong. We don't want to take risks, and we're going to look foolish if we say the wrong thing or we say something and it doesn't happen. Listen, people who are successful in life, they get over that. They get over the fact that they're going to look foolish, that they're not going to achieve everything that they say they're going to achieve, but if they have a specific goal written down, they're going to outperform anybody that's just floating through life in the seat of their pants or shooting in the dark. So goals are important, but this is what I've discovered. Moving from Cleveland as a full-time pastor to a part-time pastor to moving into Litchfield, Connecticut, having a sports car, making money, traveling the world, these were all at one time goals for me. But you get to the point where you go, all right, enough is enough. Sure, I can achieve goals. I can make things happen. I can even teach other people how to make it happen. But there's got to be more to a brand new Corvette. There's got to be more to a brand new house in Litchfield or a second house or a coaching company or a business on the side. There's got to be more to life. And that's what happens with a lot of people. They achieve a goal and then they think to themselves, is this all there is in life? So there's one part of the puzzle that I believe is missing, which if you place in perspective will give you momentum so that you'll never, never quit, and that's purpose. See, the top of the triangle stands for purpose. The reason why we want you to think about and meditate about your desire and looking at your top 10 desires is we want you to get to the bottom of it. We want you to peel back the onion, so to speak, so that you're looking past activity, that you're looking past goals, and you're asking yourself some really hard questions, like my purpose. Like, why am I here? I think I used to ask myself that all the time. Like, why am I here? What am I here for? Why am I doing what I do? Why do I do what I do? I want you to think about this week, and you're certainly not going to master this, and this is why I'm going to encourage you to use the journaling section of your business builder to get to the bottom of this. What's your purpose? Why are you here? Are you here just to sell product? Are you here just to make money? Are you here just to be a good husband, upline, downline, wife, parent? What are you here for? These are some deep questions. But I know this. The more you can tap into your purpose, the more goals will happen naturally and easily, and the more the activity will flow like running water. See, if you start at the top of this triangle or the top of this pyramid and you get clarity on your desire, which is based on your purpose in life, goals and activity are just going to flow naturally. Now, if you start at the bottom, it's going to be a tough road. Activity and goals, and you're never going to get to the top. But if you can tap and begin at the top and figure out what your desire and your purpose is, then your business is going to be easy. Yeah, you're going to get some scrapes. You're going to get some bruises. You might get hit in the head with a baseball bat. Who knows? But you're not going to stop because you have purpose. So here's the homework for the week. The homework for the week is to devour the game plan interview, to get at a quiet place, to focus on your 10 top desires, your purpose. Ask yourself some tough questions like, why am I doing this? Why do I want this stuff? Why do I want to achieve this and be this and do this? What's really behind all of this stuff as far as the values? And these are deep questions. This is not about a Corvette or a new house or quitting your job or making a lot of money or traveling. This is deeper. But the deeper you can go with this, the more likelihood you're going to stick around. It's like building a building. You can build a building on sand, and most likely when the first storm comes or the wind or the rain, it's going to go. But if you can build a solid foundation, a really solid bedrock foundation, and it might take some time. By the way, I told you about the house being built next to me. It was weeks before they started building. The first thing they did is they made sure that foundation was steady, solid, and secure. So desire is about your purpose. It's about discovering your why and really building that foundation. I will tell you that if you do not spend time doing this homework this week, discovering your purpose, and just begin to peel back the onion, what we're going to talk about in the next 2 weeks is not going to make any sense. You're going to find yourself buying your excuses. You're not going to show up because you're not clear on why you're up to home base. Okay, so I'm really going to encourage you. Do the best that you can with this game plan interview. And don't be afraid of looking bad. Don't be afraid of making mistakes or failing. This is just a game. You're standing on a diamond mine of potential. Change your mind. Now, flip the game plan over to the front, and it says success is helping others achieve their goals. I want you to begin to think about scheduling your activity and your goals based on your purpose. I know we're covering a lot tonight, and we're going long, but it's important that you really get this information. Number one, it says time commitment. How many hours a day are you going to work your business? When I was in direct sales and network marketing, I had an upline that said to me, Greg, the only time you're working your business is when you're in front of people who can make a decision either about the product or the opportunity. That's it. Running to the store, cleaning your office, getting online, going to the post office, dropping CDs, mailing stuff. Yeah, it's all important. But the only time, folks, I believe, my opinion, is when you're working this business is when you're in front of a person, belly to belly or over the phone, that can make a decision. Yes, no, maybe, call me later, drop dead, I don't care. They're going to make a decision either way about what you have, your product or your opportunity. So I want you to start thinking about this. How many hours a day are you going to work this business? 1 hour at your lunch break, 2 hours, 3 hours? Then I want you to ask the question, how many days a week are you going to work your business? So if you're going to work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you'd write down 3 days. If you're going to write down 1 day, write down 1 day. But again, your purpose and your desire must be congruent with this action plan. See, if you tell me you want to make $1,000 a month in your company, but you're only willing to spend 1 hour a month, you're probably off target. You're probably not congruent. Either you have to change your desire or you have to change your goals or your activity. But see, you would never know this if you didn't write this down. So clarity, clarity, clarity is really important. So how many hours a day do you want to work the business? This is on the front page of the game plan interview. How many days a week do you want to work this business? And here's the question. Will you stay committed for 12 months? See, it might take you 12 months to go through the learning curve of getting this down. It may take you a year or two, if you're brand new, to start seeing some resistance, to start seeing some results. It doesn't happen overnight. Okay, then go down a couple sentences or a couple paragraphs, and you'll see something that says, write the compelling reason why this recruit wants to succeed. So, based on your meditation, based on your reflection, based on your 10 top desire, based on your purpose, come up with 1 or 2 reasons why you must succeed in this business. What if your life depended on it? I mean, like really. What if your family depended on it? Okay? I find that people who have their feet to the fire, they are the ones that perform. They got something to lose if they don't do it. So you got to get really clear, and I'm asking you for homework for this week. Write down the compelling reason why you want to succeed in that little tiny box on the front of the game plan interview. Now, over to the left, you're going to see something that says income goals, right on the game plan interview. It says 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years. Now, here's where I'm going to ask you to tap into your imagination. Where do you want to be 3 months from now as far as income? Write it down. Write down a number of what you intend or expect to have as far as a commission check from your company 3 months from now. Now, if you've been in your business for a year or two, you probably have a guesstimate or a feeling of what it's going to be like. If you're brand new to network marketing, you've never received a commission check, well, you're starting from zero. There's only one place you can go, and that's up. But I want you to create this on paper first in your mind. You know, imagination is more powerful than knowledge. And what I'm going to ask you to do in a few minutes is to tap into your imagination. Where do you want to be 3 months? In other words, 3 months from now, you go to the mailbox or the P.O. box or wherever you get your mail, and there's the commission check from your company. What does that amount look like? Can you see it? You got to see it in your mind first. You got to visualize it before you're going to make it a reality. And of course, one step in the process is writing it down. Okay, now 6 months from now, you go to the post office box or the mailbox. 6 months from now, what do you want that number to be on that check? Now I'm going to ask you to do that either now or this week. Okay. Now, if you find yourself resisting this and say, my goodness, this is a lot of work, and Greg's been talking for over 90 minutes, and where is he going with this? Take a look at that. Remember, this course, this business builder, is like a mirror. It is either going to expose you or promote you. It's like a double-edged sword. Okay? So take a look at the feelings that you're feeling and the thoughts that you're thinking, and say to yourself, maybe I should take this on. Maybe I should change my mind. Now, here's going to be a big leap for a lot of you guys. What do you want your check to be 1 year from now? 1 year from now. Now, here's where you're going to have to tap into your imagination, because it's inconceivable for some of you guys. You just have to pick a number out of the air, but that's okay. Don't be afraid of being wrong. Then, 2 years from now, what do you want your check to be 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, and 5 years from now? A couple months back, I decided to jump back into this exercise and play this game and to create a new game plan interview for myself. And I will tell you that the numbers become intimidating. And we stop and we think, wait a minute, if we're making $5,000 and then we jump to $15,000, then $10,000, after a while our mind kind of shuts off and we say, wait a minute, I can't even conceive of this. Well, change your mind. You're standing on a diamond mine of potential. Change your mind. See, if you can only conceive of $20,000 a year or $50,000 a year, guess what? It is going to be a self-fulfilled prophecy. I can teach you all the techniques. I can give you all the topics and all the tips and teach you how to use the business planner. I can come to your house and work with you for a weekend. But if you can't conceive of making $100,000 a year, guess what? You're going to be right. So here is where we're asking you to stretch yourself, to tap into your imagination, and get out of your mind. To change your mind, literally. Okay? So the homework for this is easy. It's simple. It's not easy. It's simple. Create a game plan on paper for you, for your business and your life, based on what you have here on this blue tab called Manager, and do the best that you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? All right, the next thing we're going to ask you to do is go over to the Builder section of the Business Builder, which is the green tab. And by the way, this call is being recorded, so you can listen to it in the future, because I know I'm talking fast and I'm giving you a lot of information. The green tab is Builder. And the first thing you're going to find in the green tab under Builder is Major Goals this year. Major Goals this year. In addition to filling out the game plan interview and getting really clear on your purpose, I'm going to ask you to create 6 goals that you would like to work towards in the next 12 months to 2 years. Now, it's important that you just write them down. You don't have to know how it's going to happen. You don't even have to know the action steps of what you're going to have to do to make it happen. The first thing I'd like you to do is to get clear, based on your desire, based on your purpose, what are some of the goals that you have for this year or the next 24 months? And I'd like you to come down or write down 6 of them. So you want to write on one piece of paper, and then you write on the other piece of paper. Okay? All right. Then let me call your attention to the Daily Success Journal. And if you keep on flipping the pieces of paper under the Builder section of your Business Builder, past the Business Activity Review, you will come to something called a Daily Success Journal. Now here's where I'm going to invite you in to journal, to create on paper what we call your perfect day or your perfect script. Here's where I'm going to ask you to tap into your imagination. Because where you are right now, folks, is one place. But where you desire to be is at a different place whatsoever. And for us to create the life that you want to live as far as your business, we got to close the gap. And the first thing we're going to do to close the gap is to tap into your imagination, know what you want, and get it down on paper. Okay? So what I'm going to ask you to do for this week is to create on paper your perfect day. Now, I don't care if you get up at 6 o'clock and drive an hour to go to work, or you, commute 2 to 5 hours to get to work, or you hate your boss, or you don't like your life, or you don't like your job, and you wish that you could do direct sales network marketing full time. I want you to forget about all that stuff. I want you to focus on what you do want, not what you don't want, okay? And what I'd like you to do, if you'll please take this to heart, is to create on paper in the journal section, the Daily Success Journal, what your perfect day would be. Your perfect day. Now, 3 things. Number 1, it should be written in the present tense, as though you already have it. It's not something you're striving to or you're struggling to get to. If you want to have $100,000 come to you every single month or every week or every year because of your business, write it down as though you already have it. If you're 150 pounds and you want to be 125, write down you are 125 pounds. You want to create on paper your perfect day. It needs to be positive. It needs to be in the present tense, and it needs to be full of pictures. In other words, colors and smells and taste. And the more dramatic it is, the more visual it is, the more that you can hear the sound of the waves, if that's what lights you up, on your ocean property. But I'm asking you to tap into your desire. What do you desire to be, do, and have? What would your perfect day look like? Now, some of you that are struggling with this, just remember how it was when you were 5 years old. and somebody asked you what you wanted to be or do, and you just told them, and there was no restriction, you didn't worry about what people thought. Here's a metaphor. Here's an analogy. Walking down the beach, you find a bottle, you rub it, open it up, this genie comes out and says, look, I'm going to give you one day, and it's going to be perfect, and you just have to tell me what it is. And you're just going to tell this person, this genie, what your perfect day is like. And it's so important that you get clarity and you just write this down. So the homework for this week is to write down on this journal section your perfect day like a diary. You don't have to show it to me. You don't have to show it to your loved ones. You don't even have to show it to your upline. But you got to tap into your imagination. And I'm going to ask you to please, please do this work, okay? Now, in addition to your perfect day, I'd like you to write a sentence or even a paragraph of how you're going to feel when you go to the mailbox 3 months from now to receive that commission check. Remember in the game plan interview, we asked you what your check was going to be like 3 months and 6 months and 1 year and 2 years and 3 years and 4 years and 5 years? What I'm going to ask you to do is create your perfect day on paper and then write down how you're going to feel when you go to that mailbox and get that commission. Let's say you got $10,000 on your credit card, and you're freaking out, and you're really upset, and you're wondering how you're going to pay the bill off. But in your imagination, you see yourself go into that mailbox, and you get a $10,000 check, and you open up the mailbox, open up the envelope, and there it is. You go home, you write the MasterCard, and it's done. You're out of debt. How does that feel? Then I want you to write down in a sentence or a paragraph, what's it going to feel like 6 months from now when you go to the mailbox and open up your commission check 6 months from now, based on what you wrote in the game plan interview. Then I'd like you to do the same thing for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years. Now, what I've discovered in my own life and with other people is there's going to be a point of resistance. Greg, you're crazy. I don't know what my check is going to be 6 months from now, a year from now. How do you expect me to do this? I don't know how to do this. I don't want to fail. Look at that. Because that's what's getting in your way. So I'm asking you to tap into your imagination. I'm asking you to be a kid again. I'm asking you to play with me. Play with yourself. Tap into your imagination. What's it going to be like? What if only half of what you wrote down came true? It's better than what most people do because most people spend more time on a vacation to Disney World than creating what they can do in a year or in a decade. You're different. You are different. You wouldn't be on this call. What I'm asking you to do is to stretch and reinvent yourself. I don't know if you've ever seen The Man of La Mancha, but I'm asking you to dream the impossible dream. I'm asking you to risk, to get outside of your comfort zone and take a chance with myself, with you, and take that pen this week, work on a game plan interview, work on a perfect day, and then create on paper how it's going to feel 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years playing this game. Believe me, folks, if you stay in this game and you master these fundamentals, you're not going to be the same person 5 years from now. You won't be the same person 10 years from now if you do this work and you change your mind. You are all standing on a diamond mine of potential. Change your mind. Okay, one last thing. Go to your preview section of your Business Builder, your preview section of your Business Builder. The preview section of your Business Builder is at the beginning of the Business Builder, and the preview has gray borders around 2 pages for every single month. Now, if you're looking at the month that I'm looking at, which is the current month that we are in, you will find that on the top right-hand corner of the preview, you will find 3 rectangles, which say at the top right-hand corner, monthly contact goal, weekly contact goal, and daily contact goal. We're going to ask you to begin to think about this. We're going to ask you to begin to think about what you want to do as far as activity or discipline, which is first base. What do you want to do this month? You have a dream, you have a desire, you have a purpose, you've created a perfect day, you've worked on your game plan, you've tapped into your imagination. That's fine, but we can't stop there. We can't stay on home base. We got to get to first base, which, by the way, is going to be the call we're going to do next week. You got to take a risk. You got to get outside of your comfort zone. So what I want to ask you to start thinking about is, how many people do you really want to talk to this month? And then I'm going to ask you to break it down to a weekly goal and a daily goal. Now, you don't have to be perfect about this. A lot of times people, they resist this and they go, Greg, well, how do I know how many people I'm going to talk to? I don't know. Where am I going to get leads and who am I going to talk to? Don't worry about that. I just want you to start thinking about the numbers. Are you going to talk to one person a day? Are you going to talk to one person a week? Are you going to talk to one person a month? Are you going to talk to 100 people a month, 50 people a month? It's all going to be based on you, your desire, your focus, and why you're playing the game. Okay? So just to go over this again, we covered so much material tonight, but number one, give yourself permission to learn this material. It's not going to happen in a week. It's not going to happen on this phone call. It's going to take time. Be open to changing your mind, to growing, and to reinventing yourself by going through the learning curve of using this business builder, by getting along with me and letting me coach you and helping you run the bases. I know I've given you so much material in this first CD or this first call, but understand this. Change can happen in a nanosecond or it can take a month or a year. It's all up to you. You're standing on a diamond mine of potential. Change your mind. Now, to assist you in these changes, we're going to meet for 5 consecutive weeks, and then every month we're going to do 4 calls, live calls. We're going to do live prospecting, where you actually hear me prospect people. You're going to hear me do a business activity review call every single Sunday night. You're going to hear me do a timeout, which is going to coach you to get around the business and around the basis. And then the last call that we're going to do is what we call a power tune-up. Now, tonight, we have a very special guest at the top of the hour, and I'm not going to tell you her name or anything about her because I want to surprise you with the information. She's going to talk about leadership. Now, you're not going to want to miss this call. I know we've given you a lot of information. We've only gone, 90 minutes or almost an hour and 45 minutes, but you're going to want to be at this call at the top of the hour. So please join me at the top of the hour. The topic is going to be leadership. I'm going to leave you this one thought. You're all standing on a diamond mine of potential. Change your mind. Have a great week, guys. Bye-bye.